Ready
And
as
we're
ever.
off.
All right. Hello, and welcome to another evening of Dungeons and Dad Jokes. Tonight, Senior will be joining us late, so he'll come in probably closer to break. He is off doing stuff. Reggie is attending a recital right now. Um, so, um, let's start off with check out our website, danddadjokes.com. There is a new hot sheet in there. And for those players who haven't read it yet or even glanced at it, maybe Luna will come in with some surprises. I don't know, because I know Luna's read it. so,
Time.
so there is a new hot sheet in there. So just you can go under the about where you find the hot sheets. Go about our campaigns, uh, dark allies, and then you'll see, and you just hover, and you'll see hot sheets, and that's how you can find it. We are also trying to adjust the meet the characters. For whatever reason, our pictures are just not
You can
doing what they're
see,
supposed to be doing.
you can meet a really close up Phoenix and a teeny tiny Reggie.
We're having trouble getting our pictures on the same size. So,
Instead of being Reggie the rabbit, maybe he should be Reggie the genie.
Reggie the mouse.
Phenomenal monkey power. Teeny face.
So yeah, check out our website. We are constantly messing with that and trying to make things better and get some of those issues taken care of. Um, and we do still have the town criers on there, so if you want to catch up and watch our Dungeons and Dragons campaign, the town criers are all in there with summaries and stuff if you want to dig through there as well, because that is also under our campaigns. But most importantly, always check out our upcoming events, because we have something coming up relatively soon, isn't it?
This weekend,
This weekend.
I am hoping that I will be at the Anime Fest in Frankfort, Kentucky, as well as that's on Saturday, as well as the Anime Fest in uh, Louisville, Kentucky on Sunday.
Sweet.
That is my plan as of right now.
Barring any unforeseeable
We'll be
circumstances.
playing some Dungeons and Dragons.
Yep. All right. So that's coming up this weekend, so check it out. On our website, there are links to their websites so that you can get more information about the event and ticketing and things like that. So check that out. We also have things filled out for like the rest of the year. There's a couple other events going on there and even into next year. So some of those events that we have listed for next year also have their websites up and are ready for tickets. So if you want to look into that, now's a good time. Um, is there Oh, very important. If you're watching us for the first time, be sure to hit that subscribe button, because that is the only way you can join into the chat. So hit that subscribe button and you can chat with some of our players if
Hit the
they're
like
paying
button
attention.
for the
I
like
won't be on
button.
there because I got too many other things going on. I don't
I'll
I
be
don't
on
pay
there.
attention to. So, um I think that is it. I believe.
I would agree.
Yeah,
All right.
it sounds
Well
good.
then, I'm gonna pass it off to Glitch and Luna to tell us what happened last week.
No, Luna, I think that since we are partaking in the broadcasting, that we should get some sort of compensation for our efforts.
I will give you a 10% raise.
A 10% raise. You hear that? That means we can add 10% off on top of anything we make.
On top of everything we make.
So
10%
I
of nothing is still nothing because that's what I make.
I said everything we get. Therefore, all of the new yen that we get in jobs and stuff, we just add
Ooh, there we
10% on top of
go.
it,
On top of it, 10% more karma. I can do with that.
right?
All right.
Now
10%
that I
more
figured
karma.
out how to use it.
She's going,
I'm like, ooh, that's why you save it.
Yep.
And
Uh,
anybody that knows how I play, I save everything. I don't spend stuff. Just accumulates.
It's bad. Do we remember what happened last week? Because if
What
not, I
happened
can I
last
can
week?
recap.
yeah, I somewhat
Okay,
remember. You can
somewhat
remind me if I
remember.
miss
Okay,
anything.
go for it.
And there are definitely details that I'm missing. But
Well, we definitely
we
started out, didn't we? Started out with
in the auction house.
yeah, in the auction house.
We were in the auction house.
Gibson and I are in the auction house checking it out.
Yep, we're checking it out. Noticed where they were storing the valuables, and we Gibson ensured that the camera was moved just far away that it would not notice here Luna if they decided to enter. Uh, we then were informed by, I believe, Reggie, that there were uninvited guests coming through the rooftop. We utilized some of the chaos to slip into that storage room. We were seen by the auctioneer, which Gibson at least attempted to play off as two folks sneaking into a closet to have fun, grabbing Luna and making out with her as he closed the door. Uh, they then grabbed a couple items that would fit neatly in their pockets and absconded. While outside, Reggie's van was attempted to be uh, hacked into. Uh, Reggie went after them with one of his drones. Uh, at first, thought about throwing a grenade at them, and then realized that they were way too close, so he opted to shoot them instead. Uh, Gibson uh, came out, hopped in the car, and proceeded to fry the person's deck and subsequently them, causing the whole thing to glitch, which they are now in the hospital for. Phoenix was invisible, and I
I
believe he
was at the
was.
I was at the
Oh, that's right.
door trying to keep an eye on him to come and join us, but he was invisible.
Yes.
But I was seeing a lot of weird stuff happening, so
Yep.
like people just falling on the floor. It seemed like
Tripping for no apparent reason.
tripping over nothing.
Yep. Um, then some others entered, decided to execute the guard that was on the ground, and that is
We
the
made it
last
to the
of.
van and made it out of there.
Yep, we got out of there. Went the long way to Reggie's shop and parked in his Faraday cage, where we then looked at the um, items we absconded with. One was a stack of papers that looked like maps. I don't remember where exactly they were maps of.
Maps of I don't remember.
Oh, diamond mine. Location of a
Diamond mine.
possible diamond mine.
Yep. The other were seeds and soil, um, GMO modified type seeds. And the last was a tablet, which Gibson was able to breach. And I don't remember what data I got off there. Was one
Wasn't
specific file that was hot that he got into and looked at.
there was wasn't that the one? Didn't we associate that with the
Biotech or bio something?
biotech where they're trying to unlock genetic memory?
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, and we absconded with one other thing,
A silencer.
a silencer.
A prototype silencer from I don't remember which corp.
Aries.
Probably Aries.
Mm-hmm.
Aries. Okay. And they are now.
Luna is very interested in.
And Gibson would inform her that if she is seen around town with that,
They
that
prototype.
would be a bad thing to happen. Because Aries is no joke. But they are now all safe and secure in Reggie's safe.
Reggie's garage in his.
Yes, and then you guys went off to do things.
We went off to have some downtime.
Yep. Gibson headed off to the club and hung out with Star, and which like she introduced herself
Mia.
as Mia. He just calls her Star.
Mia's not Star.
I thought
Amaya is Star.
Maya. Maya. Yeah. Sorry. She
There's
meant
Mia, who's
Trust
Echoes
me,
of
there's
Tomorrow.
Mia's and Maya's. Don't get them confused.
I
They get
know,
mad
right?
at
They
that.
get mad about that.
I had students
Hey.
that were both.
Hey, that's why he just calls her Star. That on
There's
top of it, that's her VR personality, which is what he would more
yeah,
closely associate with.
yeah, that's Amaya. You would have to contact her. I'm not sure where she's at. I thought you were going with Mia Gianelli,
That's Mia.
Echoes of Tomorrow. That's Mia at Dante's Inferno. She's not Star.
Oh, well then yes, he would go and because he had been going to the club off and on, trying to get close to her and look more into the
Okay, so you were going to Mia's,
yes,
not Amaya.
yes. Please do not throw in Mama, because then there's Mama Mia,
Mama
Maya,
Mia.
Mama Mia,
And I
Maya.
headed out and met up
But
with.
don't
Mamma Mia,
spend too
Maya.
much time with her and she won't be a mama.
That's right.
Hey,
Met up with Dozer, who is a regular contact of mine.
Decker, not Rigger.
Decker. I'm sorry, Decker. Reggie's the rigger.
Yep.
A Decker contact of mine, and had him do a quick search on some names that I gave him. Do some digging on, I think Jody and I decided that the ones that I knew were Gibson.
Mm-hmm.
He used the name Marcus.
Mm-hmm.
Marcus. Yeah. And
Yeah, there's really nothing on Marcus. I don't know what level, what rating was Marcus?
quite base. I think like
Okay.
Q. Let me find. It was just enough to get into the thing.
Gotcha.
And
Yeah,
also
two.
on.
Yeah, you won't really find anything on Marcus.
I decided not to. We didn't do any digging on the other name.
Proxy.
Proxy.
Because you didn't want it attached.
Right.
I don't know if Dozer would have told you this, but doing a search on Gibson would have shown an obscure reference to a 90s movie by the name of Hackers.
Oh, well, yep. Yeah, you have to fill me in on those references because some of them I'll catch and some of them I won't.
I gotcha. I definitely
Dozer probably would have found that, yeah.
And what Dozer told me is there wasn't much on that he could find, so he must be pretty good at what he does.
Yep. Wanted to know what deck he uses. Because somebody who can scrub themselves like that, gotta be a decker.
And I looked at Dozer and said, do I look like the kind of person that knows what kind of deck somebody uses?
And he said, fair point. Have you smashed anything like this lately?
Yeah. And I don't think that at the end of the run, Phoenix did anything in specific. I think.
Well, I did, but
He went to a talismonger.
I went to my talismonger and found out that the one lady who was there, who was also a mage, and a pretty powerful one at that, had asked questions about me.
Okay, yeah, I forgot that.
So even though I wasn't necessarily linked to anything by cameras or anything like that, she knows I was there.
And then after we left the stream, we had downtime this week while we were apart. While we were apart from all of our viewers, we had downtime.
An attempt to streamline things and not spend 2 hours discussing
Right.
downtime.
Yes. Though tonight we are going to role play some downtime. Luna, you had lunch with Serena.
Huh?
It was a lovely meal. You spent a few evenings with Dozer. He's feeling pretty good. He feels like he's getting a leg in. He's like, yeah. What else did you do? You also did some tune-ups on your bikes at Reggie's garage while he was open, and did some cleaning of your own residences, plural.
Yep. I would have brought both bikes to Reggie
Mhm.
and restocked both residences and both bikes for anything that
And
I have consumed.
Reggie's beer cooler.
Restock. Actually, she probably would restock the cooler.
Reggie, during downtime, since he is not here, Reggie during downtime did his normal business with the auto shop. One of his own employees, who he has named Karen, invited the whole shop to her daughter's music recital. And, Reggie says, we're going. We're closing the shop. We're going to go to the recital because you
What
never know when
mandatory
the
work
favor
comes.
needs to be returned. Phoenix, you
Yes.
decided to go explore a cave in the Cascades that is eerily in a very similar location as those maps.
Interesting. Yeah, so it is in the Cascades. Is that?
That's
I
what
don't
Rhonda
know
told me. I
the
don't know
cat.
the mountain ranges. It's the
It's
eastern mountains of outside of
The east
Washington,
side of Seattle is the
east side of
Cascades. On the
Seattle.
west side is the
okay.
Olympics.
Yeah, and it's really where I'm going is kind of toward the bottom of the mountains.
All right.
Like it's in the foothills off of like a little river valley or stream valley. But it was a abandoned mine
Okay.
that I was looking at. But you say these maps lead to something in this general area?
Yep.
Huh. Interesting. Well, I mean, I want to spend time around this particular cave first and
All right.
create a magic circle, a
All right.
lodge.
You go and check it out. It is indeed an abandoned mine.
Okay.
You can go fairly deep into it, and there are some offshoots that could be, where you're not on the main tunnel that's been blasted out or whatever.
Right.
There are a couple of offshoots that are nice sized caves that would probably work for lodging,
Okay.
creating a lodge, not
Okay.
lodging.
Then I'll find
Although
the
you
one
can.
that I like the best that would be decent size for, if I brought other mages up to do rituals or learning spells or anything that's group activity for
All right.
mages.
All right.
Something that's big enough to hold all of us comfortably.
All right. And you set up a lodge.
And spend 6 days and 3,000 new yen to set up a magical lodge.
All right.
It's a 4/6 lodge.
Yeah. Phoenix disappears for a good week.
Oh,
Don't hear from him.
Before I do it, I'll do the summoning and binding of the spirit.
Okay.
And it'll actually be a where was it? It's not a fire spirit. It's gonna be a spirit of man, actually.
All right.
Not a spirit of fire.
Okay, you're binding a spirit of man, and you have to add a license for that if you're seen with the binding. Look into that. All right.
I don't think so.
I don't remember. So you can look
But
into
I'll
that.
look it up.
All right. Gibson, on the
Yes.
evening you spend the night with Mia, because she invited you back to her place, you find out very quickly she lives in a better part of town, probably Bellevue. And she lives in a rather large house, and she shares this house with two uncles that she calls uncle. One of them is a troll. One of them is human.
I'm extremely polite, especially to the troll.
She calls them both uncle. And
Hey.
oh wow, you're here faster than I thought you would be.
Hey.
So she does live with her uncles, who definitely watch and are very observant, and you could tell that they let her do her own thing, but they are definitely there protecting her. These are probably not blood related. You picked that up very quickly.
Probably.
Let's see. Let's see. Where did I write this down? Oh, there it is. You will notice that the troll is definitely very beefy and has a cyber arm. Not somebody to mess with. The human, you notice that he is carrying, even in the house. He has a pistol holster. He carries.
What kind of pistol? Can I tell?
Pick one. A good one.
Okay.
I don't know the names of pistols.
What level or good are we talking?
We're talking
And we're talking about light pistol or heavy pistol?
probably a light pistol, I would assume, with human. And he carries it all the time. I can't imagine him carrying around a heavy pistol, although I guess he could. It's probably a light pistol.
Okay.
So
All right.
you can tell that.
I'm not gonna look into specific ones. We
Yeah.
just wanted to get an idea.
Light pistol. And yeah. So you spend the evening with Mia, and the morning comes, and she'll stick around for breakfast and whatnot, and then you will part ways, I assume. I don't think
Oh,
you're
yeah.
planning on hanging out and making yourself at home.
No. He'd probably have breakfast, which is probably he grabs a bagel and looks around and says his farewells and hopes to see her again sometime.
And she will say that she hopes to see you as well. She had fun last night. All right. The uncles are up when you get up, and they are watching and listening and whatnot. They don't go too far. You've picked that up very quickly. Um,
Are they up before she is?
yes.
You need to strike up a conversation. Try to at least get their name.
Oh. One of them will call himself. The human will call himself Johnny.
You know better than to not have names prepared. Joe's always going to ask what their
I
name
know, right?
I've not been playing with him as long as you haven't. I know this about him.
And I thought about
And
putting
I
names on
remember it.
here, and I just didn't. The
But I
human
want to
calls
establish them that they have names. You know,
they
I got
do
to give
have
them
names.
reality.
The human calls himself Johnny, and the orc
Troll.
troll. Sorry, the troll. I have it written here. It is troll. I had that prepared. The troll's name is Samuel.
And he says it very refined, I bet.
Yes, very much so. He calls himself Samuel.
Try to not make friends, but yeah.
Yeah, they are very short answers, no last names. Um, they're not too conversational.
And then after she gets up, have a little bit of breakfast, say goodbyes, and head out.
All right. And then during this, I don't know, 2 week or so downtime that's happening, maybe 3 weeks or so. Um, you also have some other things that you wanted to do.
I do. Um, Specifically roleplay wise, uh, Q was going to continue to dig into her family and the those associated with that flame that was noticed in the images.
Okay. The flame you don't have attached to a person yet.
I thought it was attached to her family.
Oh, I don't. Oh, maybe. I don't remember. Because you found that image when you were digging around on proxy stuff,
Right. And
right?
it was associated with most of the images that we got off of there. Like it was
Right.
somewhere in all of them.
And it got attached to the Gianelli
Yep,
family?
I believe
Okay.
so.
Gianelli? Am I saying that right? Now I have to look. Yes, Gianelli. Got attached to the Gianelli family. All right. You start digging around for that flame. Give me a matrix search roll.
Ooh, I have a cheat sheet here that tells me what that is.
Hey, hey, hey.
Matrix search, computer and logic. So that's gonna 4 successes.
4 successes. Okay. Um, in your search, digging around for this flame, you do see this icon does pop up at Dante's Inferno in a couple of different places. Um, pops up also in uh, in areas that are Rinraku. And as you kind of dig around for this mark, because it's a flame, you do see that there is a persona. As you start digging around with it, you find a persona attached to it that is a gentleman, human, no, elven, very fine clothes, um, suit, tie, black hair pulled back in a low pony. Uh, wears gloves, black
Oh,
gloves.
am I able to determine his name?
The only name you kind of get is Tony.
The tiger. Oh,
Tony. It is. That's the only name you get. You have a feeling it's probably not the real
not
name.
his actual name. Yeah. Um. Beyond that, he wanted to my list here. Uh, you want the one that he's going to more enjoy, or the one that he's kind of dreading next?
Whichever. Pick your poison. Good
You
news or
know,
bad news. I don't know.
yeah, you know, I'll go with a less enjoyable one because, well, at least he can end it on a good note. Um, he's going to go reluctantly and pay down his debt.
Okay. Um, and that is to Kaya, right?
Yes.
That is how we pronounce her name, Kaya.
Sure, that works.
Okay. I didn't know.
That's how I. Yeah,
Okay.
that's how I.
All right. All right. You show up to Kaya's residence or workshop, or are they one and the same?
They're probably one and the same. She
Okay.
is very small time, so she probably does everything
Okay.
out of her house.
All right. You show up. You ring the doorbell.
Yep.
She makes you wait.
He leans against the stoop or whatever. He just makes himself comfortable.
After, you know, 10 minutes maybe, uh, she'll open the door.
He'll he'll nod with a very not forced, but just let's get this over with smile. And he'll just take a breath, hold up a cred stick, and say, "Oh well, better late than never. It's part of it, at least."
She'll take the cred stick. She doesn't smile at all. She takes the cred stick. And before you know it, she slaps. She like hits you hard. She's like, she looks at you and she hits you. She says, "Could have had you killed."
Yeah. Why didn't you?
Mostly because I didn't know it was you. She turns around and she walks in. She leaves the door open.
He stands there for a good minute and a half. I'll push off of the railing and kind of rub my cheek.
It's sore.
Follow her in and shut the door behind me.
Once she hears the door shut, she'll come out with a glass. She'll hand you a glass of, I don't know, whatever you drink. She knows what you drink.
Take it.
And
Oh, now I'm confused. First you slap me. Now you're giving me a drink.
she says, I found out there was a hit on Proxy.
Hmm, that's what I heard.
I commissioned somebody to prevent or even take out whoever was going to take that hit. Found out after the fact that Rex asked you.
I was kind of the best person to go after him, wasn't I?
Well, yeah, but had it gone south,
I had muscle with me.
it's a good thing.
Didn't stop people from trying to kill me. Kill all of us. Some
Well, that's
gang.
what I commissioned them to do. Of course,
Oh, so you're the
gangs
one that commissioned the gang.
gangs now down 4 people, but hey, yeah,
Ah,
5 people, maybe 4 people. Did you leave
well,
somebody standing? I don't remember if you killed them all or left somebody standing.
do you think I stopped and checked their pulse?
Well,
Put
no, of
bullets in them
course
until
not.
they fell down and then got out of there.
Well, I wasn't expecting you to take that job.
I
I didn't.
wasn't expecting to get shot at.
Okay, well,
especially since there was nothing about proxy there.
You never kept anything there?
You know me better than that.
Well, it's probably a good thing you never kept anything there.
Yeah, there was stuff there, but nothing about proxy.
Interesting. Somebody just found a random empty server and like dumped something on it?
I don't think it was random at all, but that's still to be seen.
Well, I would like the rest of my money back, so watch your back.
Well, tell you what. If I die, you can sell my stuff to get back what you can. Won't be much.
Okay. Yeah, you don't have much.
Yeah, got a bite.
That's worth something.
Yeah. Well, take a drink of his beverage of choice.
Well,
I know I owe
he'll
you more,
yeah,
and you'll get it.
I know I'll get it. Maybe next time I won't slap you.
I doubt that.
Maybe I will. She'll continue with some small talk until you're done drinking, and
Yeah.
then bid you farewell unless there's something you need to ask.
Nothing that I need to ask. Finish the drink, set it on her counter, and head out and turn back and say, "Shouldn't leave your door open. Don't know what kind of people will just follow you in."
Yeah.
As he, as he hops.
She'll follow you to the door and say, "Yeah, street rats."
Mhm. I'll shrug. I've been called worse. And he'll just ride off.
All right.
And then finally he would go and start looking for a convergence of resonance.
All right. I'm doing matrix search. It's not hard to find, where resonance is. Um, it kind of glows like high magic for Phoenix. You can find resonance pretty quickly. Probably the largest pool of resonance that you can. I lied. Maybe the second largest pool of resonance that you find. The largest pool is probably around corporations, and you
Right.
probably it's like,
Nah.
nah. We'll steer clear of the corporations. So the second largest pool of resonance you find is like a warehouse that's near the Seattle airport, and this, kind of running through the matrix for a bit, that it is a large like VR bar. People go there. I mean, sure, they might get a drink, but they really go there to be in VR for hours on end. Um, they have a lot of, and you've seen it before. You might have even visited it. Um, Obviously, you don't need it to go into VR. Average people like Luna, who don't just run around with VR headsets, might actually go there to do VR things. Um, but when you walk in, you see that this is a fairly large room that's kind of behind glass. There's like a little reception area with a person standing there. And behind the glass are several individual like stations, chairs with VR hookup and all of that. You see it all around the wall, and there's even a couple of rows down the middle. Each station has kind of its own little box. They're almost like cubicles, so there's a little bit of physical privacy, even though you're in VR. Um, and the receptionist will open up and when you walk in and just like, how you doing? What can I help you with?
What's her name tag say?
Her name tag says Jenny.
I'm gonna ask. So
Is that a title or?
What kind of?
Could
I'll
just
lean
be
on
her
the.
position.
Hey, I'll lean on the counter and smile and be like, "Hey, Jenny. So, only thing you ran out of here, little VR boots. Anything more substantial?"
Um, what might you be thinking?
I don't know. Something that I can spread out, walk around, gather some friends in, have a small party.
Um,
No need for any hookups.
I mean, we do have a basement that probably can be used for parties. Um, I'm not at liberty to give that out, but I can get my supervisor,
Who's the owner?
Nicholas.
Nicholas.
Nicholas, I don't know. Nicholas
Flamet.
Flamel. No. I mean, it'd be a good fake name.
Is Nicholas
Nicholas.
available?
Hmm. Oh, yes, Nicholas is here. He's here almost every day.
Ah,
So,
let me guess. Decker.
yes.
Hmm. Does she see? Does she seem truthful on that? I don't know what the. I remember if there's an insight
Oh
version.
my gosh. I need. Where is my phone?
You need like 12 more screens.
I need 12 more screens, and I need like a list of 100 names. I should be used to this by now. You always ask me what the name is. What's their name?
Names are important.
That's why everybody who served in the Trinson house had the name of Jennifer. I don't care, male or female, it was their titles. Jennifer.
Yep.
Oops, what am I looking at? Nope. You want to see if she's holding something back or hiding something?
Yeah,
It's
that
not
yes came out a little bit too forced.
a yes.
Uh,
uh,
I guess there's intuition and charisma as one of these.
Nicholas Herpin.
Do I know that name? First of all,
What is I do we have some kind of insight, sense motive, something of that nature that's like I don't
well,
do we
a
have that
quick.
as a skill?
It is not an actual skill. There are like abilities that allow it. Some things that are mentioned here are like judging intentions with intuition and charisma.
Okay. Okay. I can take an intuition and charisma check. Oh, everybody just saw my party on bottom. Yes, I'm wearing pajama pants.
Intuition and charisma. All right. I don't know what that's opposed by, but
I don't know. Maybe her intuition and charisma.
or maybe her con.
Con, yeah, con. Con would work.
Oh, yeah, I guess I could have looked at con and see what the opposing for con was. That is 4 successes.
Ooh, you just barely beat me. Yes, it was a forced yes, and yes, she knows something more or something different. It's just kind of a she didn't
Canned
expect the
response.
yeah, it is a canned response. She hesitated briefly because she didn't expect the statement. Most people don't come in here and like say what he is. Um, they just
And I
want
don't
a
know if she could
VR
tell
set.
the way
So
that
she was a little offset.
the way that he said he's a decker, isn't he? Like there was a bit of animosity and like disgust in his voice.
Yeah. So you could tell she was kind of taken back a little bit by the question, the tone. But yeah, it was a forced yes. It is a canned response. Yes.
Well then, I'd love to meet him.
Sure. Wait right here. She'll disappear into the back for a little bit. Um, and she'll come out. She'll be followed by a gentleman, a human, um, rather tall, lanky, not a real buff guy. Wears little glasses, small spectacles, uh, blonde hair, just real like short, but like all over the place, not really stylized. Um, he's wearing like a polo shirt and pair of jeans kind of thing. He walks out. He says, "So, Jenny here says you might be interested in the basement."
Yeah, if it's reasonably priced.
Well, let me show you around. Uh, and he'll say, "Follow me." And you can tell that he's definitely doing a once over on you. And you can tell he's not carrying any kind of equipment. If he's a decker, he ain't carrying his deck.
Any obvious cyberware?
No. And he'll take you through the back. He'll open up a door. There's a set of stairs that's going down. And he'll go down the stairs first. He won't like make you feel like you're, I got you trapped now.
Mhm.
He'll go down the stairs, and I assume you follow.
Yep.
And down in the basement, you will see that it is an open area. There are some cabling down here that is network wires, basically, that can attach to various things, but there's no unit at the end. Um, they're just kind of network wires. He's like, so what kind of party are you thinking down here that maybe do I need to? Are you going to bring in some equipment, or are you, or do I
Maybe some
need to
couches.
see about some things?
Maybe some couches, a fridge.
All right, all right.
The walls could use some decoration.
Yeah, I mean,
What do you usually use this space for?
it's a meditation room.
Not many people here in Seattle do meditation anymore. Typically, they're the ooga boogie magic types, especially
Well,
not deckers doing meditation.
I don't. If deckers come down here, they plug in
Oh, is this where you plug in?
occasionally.
I think that'd be kind of difficult with no cyberware and no deck. Usually they don't. Those, those parasites don't go anywhere without that thing.
Uh, so what kind of party are you having down here that you need to
Nothing.
have it below a VR club?
You know, whatever fits my needs. I wouldn't want this as like a one-time deal. It was more thinking of renting out the space on an ongoing basis. Come and go as I please. Bring my friends and those that I associate with as I please.
All right. He'll give you a quote. I don't know what it would be offhand.
Hmm. I think we can make a deal.
All right.
What's his avatar look like?
His avatar looks like a, I'm gonna do it. It looks like a tree ant, like a really tall tree that's just got really long branches that kind of come out in really long fingers, and the legs are like massive root groupings, that make two legs. He kind of looks like a tree ant.
You know, if you can get the flat bit on it, you should watch this movie called Guardians of the Galaxy. Have this tree creature. I think you'd enjoy. Probably looks at him like, "What the hell are you talking about?" But
Oh no, he picks up on that real fast. He says, "Well, you might want to fix your bugs."
I'm comfortable in my situation.
All right then.
Well, I have places to be, but we should definitely talk more. I'll be back by to sign the contract
All right.
or have the handshake, however you prefer.
The handshake will do. Best not to have anything on record.
Always smart. With that, he'll head up. He'll chit chat Jenny a little bit if she's amenable, and then head out.
Yeah, she's amenable. And she'll chit chat with you until you're ready to leave.
Mm.
All right.
And I think that
You
is
found
all I
something.
had.
All right.
Oh.
I wanted to add one thing to my downtime activities.
Okay. What is that?
Learning a spell if Night Owl has it or can access it,
Well,
or I can get it some other way.
all right. What spell?
So I would go to her and ask her if she has it basically, but increase reflexes.
Increase reflexes. She probably would have that one.
It's a pretty common one to have.
Yeah. I'm gonna say she would have that one.
Okay.
So she will. I don't know.
Okay.
Sell it to you. Is she your mentor or just your talismonger?
She's talismonger.
Okay, she would sell it to you. I don't know for whatever price.
I'll figure out what the norm. I gotta double check, but there's a list of what the normal prices are for those kind of things.
I am going to say, for those of you who watch us, you know the areas of which that I am like, whatever. Travel, location usually, and money. It's like, whatever, just whatever the program says.
Let's see.
Oh, I'm shaking my desk.
It says instruction skill times formula cost. But I don't know what her instruction skill would be, so
I don't know. If you find a chart, I can tell you a chart on the chart.
I'll
but
see if I can figure that out. But it's probably not going to cost a ton. The biggest thing is the five karma that it'll cost.
yes.
So, all right, and I already did the roll that I needed for it. It'll take me a little over 2 days to learn it.
Okay, you got plenty of time.
Yeah, and I've got my lodge already set up to do it. So,
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Okay then. Any other downtime things? The recital was great, Reggie. You come back, you help Luna fix some bikes. You know, it was pretty good.
It was really a great bonding moment for the whole garage.
The
They aren't
garage.
broken. They just need
They
their
just need a
regular
tune
maintenance.
up, okay? Not fix, a tune up.
Yeah, fix was the
They,
last campaign.
yeah, they need to be a little more fishy.
Oh man.
Been in
Or
Seattle
tune up.
now for about 8 months. That's the average amount of time to get some tune-up doing.
You need your tune up doing. All right. Um so that is some downtime there. Um done that, done that. All right. There is after about 2 weeks of downtime or so. Um Luna,
Yes.
you will get a text
All right.
from an unknown number.
Hmm.
And it says, have job, pays high, meet at Dante's, 10 p.m. Red room. You're on the list. Um, bring your group. Bring a group to
Who
job.
got this message?
Luna
Oh,
from an unknown number. Some things that you would know if you were to get something from somebody in relation to your background. If you were to get something, there would be no discussion of pay, first of all.
Right. Right.
That just comes with the you're our employee. You're on payroll. Sorry, you don't get anything extra for doing this.
um,
But it does say pays high, so you know it's not your background related.
right. I will contact the group.
Okay, all of you get a little text or call. I don't know, whichever you prefer. And you share with them what you share with them.
Got a possible job. Pays high. Unknown source. Dante's Red Room at 10 p.m. tonight. Was that
Yeah. You get it
given or
probably
right?
about, I don't know, 3 o'clock in the afternoon ish.
Yep. Who's available?
I could always use some cash. My cheeks still burn a little bit.
I could definitely use the cash, and I've got a few fun things to try out.
And my cheek doesn't burn.
Hey, Phoenix, what was Jeremiah's last name?
Jeremiah.
Your school buddy.
Yeah, I'm looking. Wilson.
Yeah, he's dead.
Wilson.
He's dead?
Yeah, some sort of street fight.
Yeah.
Or the papers.
Small loss.
Mm.
I'm heartbroken.
He wasn't my buddy, that's for sure.
Yeah, buddy's used
I mean-
loosely here, but more in regard to our other job.
In regard to that first that data we found, you think?
Yeah, the stuff well, I don't know about y'all, but I'm still investigating it.
I haven't forgotten about it, but I haven't really looked into it much. I'm
Investigating what?
kind of waiting to hear if anything pops up about it from my professor.
Gotcha. Well, I've been investigating it in multiple different avenues, but yeah, this one is just a hot sheets.
Oh, by the way, GM, did
Yes.
anything else pop up about that lady, or when I went back for the spell, did the Talismonger have any other
Yeah.
news or anything?
No, she doesn't. She just said
Okay.
that she had inquired at one point, and she hasn't come back yet.
And has anybody else mentioned me or her or anything?
Nope.
Okay. Let me know if anybody does.
Will do.
All right, well, where are we meeting and when, Luna?
Meet at Dante's.
Dante's.
About 10 till 10. We have an appointment at 10 p.m. in the Red Room.
All right.
I was gonna head there tonight anyway, so
He'll show up at 8 when Echoes of Tomorrow start playing.
more like 8:30. Got to be fast food late.
Oh yeah, okay. You have to be there on the second, third song.
Yeah.
Don't
Make
want to
her
look
wonder
too
if I'm
eager.
gonna show up first, right? Like, make her be like, "Where is he?"
All right. Reggie, I assume you're going to respond as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I will respond positively.
All right.
I will take my bike, but I'm going to bring a micro drone in my backpack because I want to scout the area before I go inside Dante's.
All right. I'm going to say you send out the drone, you scout the area. You don't see anything outside of normalcy. I mean, obviously there's guards at Dante because there's bouncers and things like that. It's a bar. It's a very popular bar, very busy bar. So
Well,
they do
Jumping
have
Castle
security.
has Jumping Castle has bouncers too.
Ah, 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 ah. So everything looks normal out, or, nothing's out of the normal. Um, you head into Dante's, you find Gibson already in there. You eventually kind of all meet up. You find Luna. The Red Room is on the third floor. Most people that come in just get to that first floor. You have to be invited basically to other floors or have your club membership kind of thing. When you go to the third floor, they'll stop you and they'll say, do you have an invitation? They'll say it's a troll standing there.
I'll tell
I'll
him.
let
I'm
Luna
on
do the
list.
talking.
You're on
Is
the
it
list.
Samuel?
No, it is not Samuel. Different troll. You're on the list. Good. Name?
Luna.
All right. And you have guests?
Yes, 3 of them.
Very well. Third floor.
I'll begin to make the climb to the 3rd floor.
You don't have to use stairs. Not if you don't want to. I mean, if you want to use stairs, by all means use stairs. But there are elevators.
Actually, I'd rather use the stairs.
I'm a
Jack into
specimen
an elevator.
of fine health. I will use the stairs.
Okay. Use the stairs. All right. So you go to the third floor. There are some private rooms. These rooms around
That's
here.
my cardio for the day. Oh.
Right. Check. Um,
Should try removing engine blocks.
no doubt. She probably did help
With
you
the
move
upper
some engine
body.
blocks. So there are rooms around the dance floor and whatnot. There is a projection, a hologram projection of the echoes of tomorrow as they're playing up there. Um, I don't remember what the third floor looks like. I don't have that list on me, but that is the basics. The private rooms are mostly colors in this level. You go to the red room, and there's a nope. You'll go to the red room, and you go to open it, and it opens for you. There is a table there. There is some water, and there is like a bottle of a red wine, and there is also a bottle of bourbon.
I'll take the water glass. Then pour the bourbon in it.
I was waiting for you to just open the bottle of bourbon. They are unopened. They're not open bottles. So you go in, you open the bottle, you pour yourself a drink. Does anybody else pour themselves a drink? Just
Bet you you'll
curious.
get some water.
Yeah, I'll take a drink.
Okay.
I'll drink a drink out of my own flask.
You
No
do
thanks,
see
I'm driving.
right. You do
This is
see
Shadowrun. There's no DUI.
right.
That's right.
You do see that there are VR headsets kind of hung up along the wall. There's probably enough for about six. There's enough for six people, like three on either side. There are six chairs with this table and whatnot. On the far end, there's a TV screen that after you come in, you shut the door, you pour yourself a drink, about a minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes while you're there. The video screen kind of comes to life, and there is a silhouette on the screen.
Scaramouche.
Scaramouche, can you do the fandango? So there's a silhouette on the screen. Sure, it's got horns. Why not? It's Dante's Inferno. And so they say, good, you answered my text.
I'm here.
We need some information. We need information off of the Ares Microtechnology Corporation security servers. We are looking for information on Frederick Schumann. He's a sergeant with the Ares security. Works fairly closely, is a liaison with Knights Errant, but he is specifically Ares Microtechnology Security. He works under Devin Coffer. He is one of the head detectives on the street fight that went down not too long ago. We need all information in relation to the street fight that has been collected, both technical and physical, if there is any physical evidence on this fight that took place on June 10th. We are willing to pay 20,000.
20,000 per.
Each?
Yes.
Okay.
And you want us to break into Ares.
Curious as to why you contacted me.
I have ways of seeking the people I need.
So let me get this straight. You want us to break into Ares
And is there,
and take the
Security firm,
information, or
you could
copy
it.
the information
Copy is fine. You don't
so
have
they
to
can
remove
keep it? Okay.
Mhm. We just need that information.
Actually, it'd be best if they didn't know
wait.
we took it.
Well, that's
I
beside
mean,
the
best.
point.
hold up. We're talking about copying information from Ares. Fucking Ares. We're not talking about, Jim Bob's gunnery down the street for 20,000.
Aries is not the easiest thing to deal
It
with.
is.
Do you anticipate the need for somebody with my particular skill sets?
Yes.
Or mine.
Uh-huh. Yes.
Yes.
I anticipate this as I'm going to be the one copying the information. I highly anticipate this.
Are you that bad?
Gibson wants to walk out alive.
Reggie, let me ask you this. What is the topmost drone company in the world?
Aries.
Who's the
Well,
#1 weapons manufacturer in the world?
I don't know. I don't deal in weapons. I have Aries weapons on my drones.
Exactly.
They're the
Yes.
7th largest in the world.
We're not talking about
7th largest
a
corp.
scroll.
Final question from me. Are there limitations?
No.
Okay, that makes it easier. Obviously, the
allowed to-
less getting connected to us is a bad thing, but
Are we allowed to protect ourselves if we
well, that would be
get in, tr-
in
get
terms of
trouble?
limitations.
Yeah.
Indeed.
So
Anybody who gets in
I'm
your
the
way,
hitter.
it's up
I'm
to you.
asking those questions. Those are what I'm asking.
Yeah.
We just need the information.
We have full permission to die
Well, yes.
if we run into Ares security.
Right.
You also have permission to fight back and kill if necessary. I don't care. I just need the information. Now,
I'm
No
sorry.
problem.
it is possible that Frederick Schumann, being one of the head investigators in this case, may have taken some of this information home. So you may not have to infiltrate security office, Ares security office.
wait, what's his name?
Frederick Schumann.
Frederick Schumann.
Isn't he a music composer? Oh, Schumann.
That's
Never mind.
Schumann. This is Schumann. No relation.
I'll take the job.
Yeah.
Good. You'll see your comm or hear your comm. Bing. You got information.
You've got mail.
You've got mail. You have a layout of the server room of which this information is going to be housed. It is on the, I want to say the 3rd floor of the building, but who puts their server room up there? Aren't they usually in the basement?
Not always.
Down low. Depends.
It really depends.
Okay.
Yeah, depends on
It's
how
going to be
they're
on the 3rd
structured.
floor then.
Depends on the building.
It's on the 3rd floor.
That's fine.
I'm going to put it on the 3rd floor because I can.
All right. Here's
This
the
is
deal.
a thing tonight.
Right?
We had beach access from my first server room.
You get, this is the information. If you open it up and you start looking at it, the information that you have is a layout of the server room that's on the 3rd floor of this building. You'll have a location for the building. I didn't actually write that location down. It's one of Ares security offices. They have several. They're not asking you to break into the main Ares facility. It is a separate office, but it is on the 3rd
That's
floor.
good.
Oh, we're not breaking into the White House. Just
Yeah, no,
Martha's
not the White
Vineyard.
House.
Well,
Exactly.
yeah,
Just
but
Martha's
Exactly.
Vineyard.
makes a big
Martha's
difference
Vineyard.
because Aries' main location is in a AAA security area.
Uh-huh.
So anything less than that is
Yeah.
better.
You sneeze without permission, you might trip an alarm.
And this is all like actually what glitches or what Gibson is saying. Like he's kind of like, what the hell are you guys thinking?
So it is a separate office. It's not the main. You also have the
20,000 million.
you also have the blueprint of a private residence in Bellevue.
In Bellevue. Ooh,
Hmm.
okay.
I mean, he's a sergeant for Ares Security. You think he's gonna live in some rinky-dinky? No, he lives in Bellevue, and he will give you the address for that. Um, and it's on a cul-de-sac. It's a house on a cul-de-sac, and it's in kind of in the middle of a neighborhood. There's a cul-de-sac. There's some houses around that, and then there's houses around like the block that's around them. So there's lots of houses and stuff there. But it's a very nice house, not on massive acreage like the whatchamacallit estate. It's not an estate. It is an actual residence. Um, I mean, it's still technically an estate, but normal house. Um, so he'll give you that as well. He'll give you the name Frederick Schumann. And he will go ahead and give you also, you'll see a little place underneath the TV that kind of opens up, and there's 4 cred sticks there. He says, for taking this job, I give you 10,000 up front.
I'll take them out, pass them out.
Okay.
I don't take it. I 20,000. The physical security is gonna be bad. The Matrix is gonna be bad. The 20 grand. We need to have a discussion.
There's a possibility we may have to get external help that may cost us extra.
Yeah, that.
Oh,
That will cost you extra. I am willing to foot that bill.
Okay.
okay. I raised my price then. The extra is for me.
Well,
I'm the extra.
I'm the extra.
there's another extra that I'm thinking specifically of that we can discuss after we are done here. But
Well, that's fine, but the extra is also me then. Mike, I can do this. But not for this amount.
it's risky, that's for sure.
I've done the analysis, cost benefits, risk rewards. This reward is not adequate.
Well, what's your price?
We start with the 10 now, so there's no issue with getting new credits. But upon completion, it's 20 additional on top of the 10. So a total of 30 each.
Give me adequate information. I will give you 20 upon delivery.
Give you all the information. Then he'll take the cred stick. You got a deal. Look at it. Luna, like 20 grand isn't enough to break into Ares, even if it's a sub-location of a sub-location.
Where is this other location? Is it also in Bellevue?
No, the Ares other location that you are going to be breaking into is in.
Or are we looking like Renton, Redmond? Well, probably not Redmond.
Well, the fight took place downtown. I'm going to say that this security office is actually in Renton.
Renton?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there are. Okay. All right. I'm gonna.
I gotta look at the map here.
Renton is to the southeast of downtown.
They're
Southeast,
looking and
okay.
debating and plotting and scheming and dealing and wheeling.
Okay.
In fact, Renton is actually where I live, although I live on
I
the
will
edge of it.
flip off to a corner.
Okay. Owlbear Rodeo, FYI, has the blueprint of the server room.
Oh, Renton. Okay, there we go.
Is that in Chatterbox? No.
Oops.
Where did you put that link at? Do you
Oh,
remember?
there it is. I still saw
It
the
was
auction
I
house.
Yeah, it just
Yeah.
automatically centered on that, but
Okay, so that's a low income,
well,
fairly low.
there's AAA areas in there.
oh geez, I'm never gonna
Right.
get all of that hidden. Yep.
Where is that on my map?
You did not bookmark the new link
I'm
for
looking at
Owlbear?
that.
I
I'm
did.
looking at that map.
Okay.
I just don't.
Okay.
Oh,
I just don't know where on that map that
Okay.
is. So
What do you mean?
You just scan out, like scroll out, and then
Yeah.
you'll find the big blue square, and then scroll in.
Oh, big blue squares.
Yeah.
You mean like the metro squares?
No, the big blue
Are you-
square, as in it looks like a blueprint.
Oh, I'm not on.
Oh wait,
Owlbear,
you're not
so-
in here.
He's not talking about Elder. He's
I'm talking on Google Maps.
Oh, I have no idea about Google Maps.
I can. It's to the southeast.
Okay.
Like I said, that's
south.
one of those things that I'm like,
Oh, there's downtown.
Whatever.
There's south. There's east. Okay.
If you
It's in
click on the
Renton.
Seattle districts and click Renton under that, it'll highlight it.
Oh, okay. I see that big. Yeah, it's already highlighted because I had already clicked that. Oh, East Renton. Okay, I see it. Yeah.
Yeah, it all depends on which part of Renton it's in, but
Yeah. What I was looking for is the road. Okay, there's Renton. There's the roadways for Renton. There's 405 goes right through it. Because that's going to matter. And there's a Boeing. I've been to Boeing actually. I've been. They have a museum there. It's really neat. Okay. So the
yeah,
405,
405 goes through the corner of Renton. But
67 goes south through it. But Renton's not wide enough to cause any problems getting to the 405 either.
are you? The Renton district is a lot bigger than just Renton itself.
Right. So where in the Renton district are we talking?
You're asking me to look at a map.
Jody doesn't do maps.
I don't do maps.
I do because I have to drive it.
All right.
Just what? Tell me this. What's
What?
the security rating for the area we're going into? I could tell. There's A, AA, AAA, B. Those are the most likely that it would be in. AAA is the highest.
AAA is the highest. It's gonna be what? So AAA and then AA and then A and then B and then it goes on down that way, right?
Right.
And then
Okay.
9 volt. And
E is no security.
I'm gonna say it's AA.
Okay. Good enough.
Okay.
Because they're trying to protect their assets.
Right. It's not the White House. It's
Okay, then it's
Martha
likely
That's
it's
right.
in the area around Shadow Lake or Maple Heights.
Okay.
That area, basically.
Not a problem.
So along
I will-
169.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I see. Like, yeah. Okay. Not a problem.
So easy enough to get back if we need to hit something fast.
Well, there's also places to hide there. That's.
Yep.
Oh,
And I live 15 minutes north of there.
okay.
Okay. Where is it? What? Maple Heights?
Sure.
Okay, Maple Heights.
Sure. All right, no problem.
So, we've already pretty much finished
Yep.
everything with this guy,
Sealed the
right?
deal. He says, great. Luna, you'll get a ding on your comm link with a number. Contact me when you have the information.
All right.
Do we have a deadline for this?
Not really, but please be reasonable. You can't wait 3 years to do this.
No,
No.
but
I would like to have it by next month. Even next week would be great. But I don't want to rush you to do something you're unprepared for because obviously I'm asking a bit.
yeah, this may take a little bit of prep time.
Well, we'll get it done as quickly as possible so long as we do it right.
Yes, better to do it right than to me not have to pay another group.
That is an ironic name, Maple Valley Heights. It's how can the valley be the heights? Just saying. That's ironic.
Isn't
It's
it
the height
ironic?
of Maple.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
height of Maple.
The height of
That
Maple
happens to
Valley.
be in a valley.
Maybe it's the highest point in the valley.
In the valley of the jolly.
Okay. Well,
All right. So
Sorry,
with that,
I didn't mean to get pedantic about it, but the fact is you know if we're gonna play it right,
no,
I need to find the right path out.
I get it. Egress. I understand why you're asking me, but I'm like, yeah, there's a highway nearby. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, the
But I get it.
169.
There's always a highway nearby.
Yeah, but that's not quite like the interstate, although it is.
it'll be fast enough though.
Yeah.
Get to an interstate. All
Yeah.
right.
Well, we can also get to the 78, which or the whatever that is, 15.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. We can get to
All
the
right. So
15.
with that, the screen will go black. You have time to discuss, but we can discuss after we get back from a break because I really need a break.
Jeez, didn't realize it's
Oh,
8 o'clock already.
I
okay,
really need a
18 will take
break.
us up to there.
I'm starting to rock back and forth.
We'll be back in about 10 minutes then, folks.
Yeah.
All right. Give us 10.
And we're back.
Welcome back. All right. So, you guys are in the room at Dante's Inferno. You have some information on some devices. Well, at least on Luna's device. She can send it all to the rest of you. And then you guys go from there. Oh, I just threw you guys on the map, by the way. I didn't mean to like place you there on purpose. Like no
Right.
purposeful
Well,
place.
I guess we're not quite there yet.
Yeah. So yeah, so you're in the room at Dante's Inferno. You can have this discussion here. You do know that it is private. You can see all the security measures and whatnot. There's lots of private things that happen in these rooms. And or you can go back to Reggie's and talk about it, whatever. You guys decide. Let's make a plan.
I say we go back to Reggie's and chat for now. And I'm gonna make a phone call while I'm on my way there.
All right.
Or at least leave a message for someone.
Gibson will tag along. Kind of grumbling a bit, but he'll tag along.
I'm on my bike, so
So am I.
Or he,
I'm on my
by
bike.
tag along, I mean following.
oh, okay. So on our way back, I will actually call. I haven't mentioned him to anybody in the group yet, but I will call Nathan.
Okay.
I don't know if he's.
Say,
It's late night, right?
it's after 10. It's like 11.
Okay. Okay. He may
Maybe.
be up. He may not. He's a young guy. He's probably awake. So I'll give Nathan a call.
All right.
Is there a stairway in this place?
After a couple of, there is an elevator.
There's
stairway.
2 elevators. But I was looking for like, the
My
even then
guess
there'll be
is
stairs.
you
there
know
might
what?
not be.
It's not on the blueprint. I have no idea.
There might not be stairs.
No stairs to the server room.
In the event of a fire, sorry about your luck.
Sorry about your luck.
In the event of a fire, sucks to be you.
Sucks to be
Yeah.
you.
Well, especially if you're in that server room, because I'm sure it's one of those that it doesn't spray anything. It sucks all the
It
oxygen out of
sucks
the
the
air.
oxygen out. Yep.
So yeah,
I'm gonna say no. There's no stairs. There are emergency generators that'll keep running the elevators.
Okay. Doesn't help in a fire, but okay.
and there's probably
Not really, but-
spirit backups
Yep. Spirit backups.
that push them up and down.
How many floors? What floor is this on?
This is on the 3rd floor.
Third floor. So that's not really
there-
not that tall.
No, there is a basement parking area that you go under the building to park. There's a basement parking area. The main floor or the 1st floor is the entrance with the reception hall. There's a waiting room. There's a couple of offices there. But that 1st floor is like the entry, like, okay, what do you need to be here for? Who do I need to call to meet you? There's a couple of meeting rooms. The 2nd floor is all offices, mostly like cubicles, things like that. And then this 3rd floor is the server room. There is a helipad on the roof.
Okay.
I think Phoenix was making a call.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes, thank you. answering a question. Got totally lost. You will after like maybe the third ring, you'll hear him pick up. He'll be like, Adrian? Aren't you Adrian Cross? Or am I
No.
got my names turned around?
That's
Oh
not
no,
me.
that's somebody else. Hold
No,
on.
I'm Dominic.
Dominic. That's right. I was like, I don't know that that's right, but I'm gonna go with it. Dominic. He'll go Dominic.
Does he call him Dominic or Dom? And does it reference family?
That's true. You might call him Dom.
Probably Dom.
Probably Dom.
Honestly. What's up, Nate?
What are you up to?
Well, got something interesting going on.
Okay.
Partially don't want you to get caught up in it, but might ask for a favor, pay for a favor, you know.
Okay.
Something that you may or may not be able to help out with. But I obviously don't want to get you caught up in anything crazy, so it'll be the less information I give you the better, but won't exactly be 100% normal. But you know me, I'll make it worth it. So just kind of giving you a heads up for now. I got to figure out details with a few people, and then maybe we can meet up. I don't know. You free tomorrow night?
Sure. Sure, I can. Where do you want to meet? Wait, do we have a normal meeting spot?
I would say probably.
Okay. Sure. I'll be there.
Yeah, the usual spot.
Yep.
9:00 or so.
Sounds good.
All right. I'll see you then.
I'll see you then. Click.
I'd say it's basically like the equivalent of a jazz club, somewhere there's enough noise where we can talk privately without having to worry about.
Fairly open conversation.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense.
Nobody can overhear us even though we're talking
That makes
normal.
sense.
So.
Must have the right cyberware.
Yeah, but I also know how to keep things a little more circumspect.
Yep. I mean, to be fair, nothing's 100%, but you can
No,
get close.
but at the same
right.
time, I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to get him in trouble. So.
Right. All right. So you have a meeting with Nathan
For tomorrow night.
set up for tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else?
I was just waiting back until we get back to Reggie's and start.
Oh,
discussing this.
I assume that you're on your way back to Reggie's. Oh, wait, did you do that on your way back to Reggie's?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Anything else that anybody's doing on their way back to Reggie's? All right, you're gonna make it there. You're at Reggie's. Nobody's following you. Nobody's even
Right.
caring.
Yep.
Well, right now, kind of looks non-assuming anyway. It's not like we've done anything.
Yeah, exactly. You're not on anybody's radar right now
that we know of.
that you know of.
So Aries. I have a friend from college, happens to work for them. He's one of their mages, although he's still kind of low level, but still, mage is a mage in corp world.
I mean, Is he open to extreme risk?
Mm, depends. I mean, I already called him on the way here and let him know I'm gonna meet with him tomorrow, and once we figure out what we possibly could ask him for help with. But I also don't want to get him in trouble, because he's doing good for himself, and I don't want to screw that up. He managed to make it out of the university unscathed and still somehow be friends with. He's out of everybody I knew there, he's the only one really that stayed friends with me after things that went down. Him and my old professor.
What do you expect him to do for us? You're the one that has the knowledge of this
Well, I mean,
other realm.
he might be able to get us information about security, or like shift changes, or I don't know. He it's depending on what his access level is at this point. It's hard to say, but he might be able to get us something that'll make it easier to do the job. I figure it doesn't hurt to ask him, and if it's something he can help us out, like that's really crackly.
Yeah, that is really loud. Senior.
Um,
That would be Senior. He usually
yeah.
mutes his mic when he does stuff like that.
It's all right. Yeah, if it's something that like maybe he can help make it easier to get in there, or I don't know, give us more information on what we're looking for, or even ideas for other things we could look at while we're already in the system. I see this as kind of an opportunity,
You think he's open to running? Because if he gets caught, that's where he's going to end up.
I mean, goal is to not have him get caught, but I know what you mean, and it's hard to say. I think out of everybody I knew back then, he could probably handle it better than most.
All right. I guess they might be able to help us with the magical security they got.
Yeah, and he may even know some about the physical security, or electronic security, or anything like that. I mean, it's hard to say how much he knows about that side. I mean, you know how us mages are. We don't exactly we tend to stay out of the matrix for the most part, unless we got to go in there for anything. And even then, it's just AR.
Yeah. I mean, if it'll help, it'll help.
Yeah. And he may want money. He may just want favors, which I will pay the favor off later.
I'm going to be real with you.
Or he may just want some old movies. If you got any old movies, he likes those.
That I can help with. How old are we talking?
He's my age.
Well, how old of the movies?
Oh, like, old movie?
Are we talking flatvids?
He likes anything.
Like that I can help with. But I'm going to level with you here. I'm scared shitless to go up against Ares. You know what happens if they capture you guys? They'll kill you. You know what happens if they capture me?
They catch me, I'm either dead or I'm a slave for a while. 20 years.
Yeah.
20 years no pay. If I'm lucky.
I'm going to a black site. I'm gonna be a test subject.
Yeah.
I'm not.
You would definitely have it worse than me.
So, just pardon me if I'm a little bit cautious around this, but I mean,
Well,
we'll get it done.
that's why I think any little bit of help we can get is going to be worth it.
I don't know anybody that might be able to help us on my end. I don't. Very few people, even the people I trust, know what I am. Like you guys make up a vast majority of the people that do.
I mean,
You are 90%.
Yeah.
he's one of the few people left in my circle that knows my real name, so I trust him with that.
Right.
He knows my real name and knows what I do for a living now.
Well, let's see if he can be some help. They gave us blueprints. Luna, did they give you any info on the servers? Any specs?
What kind of specs are you looking for the servers?
I would like to know how fucked I'm going to be.
The servers themselves are just servers. Yes, there are spiders and ice in the servers that will protect the data that's there. They are mostly patrol.
Okay.
Because they do have on-site security.
Luna, you gonna be able to handle that on-site security?
You are muted. Don't forget.
Oh, and from a meta game perspective, Nathan's a connection to loyalty 4, so
okay,
he's fairly loyal.
and
Doesn't
okay
have a ton of connection, but a little bit. So, I don't know. I think we need to gather more information, maybe scope the place out digitally, physically, spiritually.
Spiritually. You can, with the blueprints, just kind of thinking outside the box. You don't always have to go to the physical location to scope out some things. Do some research, find building plans, find, things like that, because you have a layout. You might be able to find some blueprints, wiring. You might be able to figure out like where security cameras are, what kind of locks you might be going up against, those kind of things. Like, you can do research. You don't always have to go to the physical location to figure things out.
All right.
Just tell me what you're looking for, where you're looking for it.
First thing I think I'm gonna do is look for those blueprints in the Matrix, publicly accessible or low security methods.
Okay. All right. You hop into the Matrix. Easy enough to do. probably the best place to find blueprints and things like that are either like governmental buildings, because they have public records for various things, or libraries. Um, Go ahead and give me a matrix search roll.
All right. Matrix search. If I can grab my dice. They're not wanting to cooperate. Eh, 2 successes.
2 successes. All right. Digging around, you are going to find that most building blueprints are housed in the various governmental buildings. Um, since this is in Renton, you're probably going to have to hop into a host in Renton to find, which you can do wirelessly. You can do that from here, but you're probably going to have to hop into a host in Renton and then get into the actual host of the government building.
That'll just take a bit of a penalty to attempt to do that.
Yeah, because it's distance. There's some
Yep.
noise going on there.
Yeah. And it's a different host, so I'll get
Mhm.
a negative to that. Okay. I will do that. I will hop in and attempt to gather that information.
All right, go ahead and give me a hack on the fly. And getting into the governmental building, hack on the fly to like hop into the host. That's just straight up. I don't. One mark, you hop into the host.
And since I am not on the host specific, like on the same network or whatnot,
Right.
it's -2.
All right.
All right. 4 successes.
All right. No problem. You hop in there. You have access to anything that's public. You start looking around. You do find in the public area, you do find the files, the file cabinets and whatnot. You start pulling them out and start sifting through things, and you find this building. You find this address, but it looks protected. I mean, it's Aries.
Yep. So for that, I would, if I wanted to bypass that, I would.
That is
What
where
is
you're going to need a mark, or at least one. I don't know. You'll have to look to see how many marks it requires.
what is that action? I'm looking through the list here.
Um, it's a hack on the fly.
Okay.
I think to bypass security. Let me look. Or I mean, I guess you can force it with brute force if you want. I mean, I can bring in some God Overwatch.
I'd rather not.
Oh, there is an actual enter-exit host.
Oh.
Oh, okay. I missed that. I was thinking that was always hack on the fly to do that. I
Oh,
lied.
that's it doesn't show a roll. That's just if I have a mark, which I would have gotten from the hack on the fly.
With the hack on the fly, that's true. You're right.
I'd hop into the host.
Hop into the
Uh,
host. And
which one
then
is? Here it is. It's crack file.
crack file. Ooh, it is an attack. You only need one mark to do it, so you've already got a mark.
Yep. But what I'm going to do is spend a moment to compile a sprite. I have cheat sheets for this. I need like more cheat sheets.
Yeah, you need your sprite cheat sheet and your matrix cheat sheet. Luna, what kind of research are you going to be doing? Or are you calling contacts or anything? I mean, you
Yes.
might be going in there to.
I will call contacts. I don't do research.
So you're gonna
I
step
find
away
a
and
way.
say,
I find a way in the building and punch my way through.
"All right." So
In other words, I would like to rage.
I would like to rage. So so you're gonna call somebody. What are you gonna ask?
About getting access to the building.
Okay. Um, your contact is gonna let you know that a majority of Ares building key card and fingerprints. They're highly secure. Um, those are going to probably be the two things you're going to need to get through doors: key cards and fingerprints. They will tell you with Ares, you also have to watch out for detectors, things that will recognize that you are cyber and that you are packing. Of course, there's cameras everywhere. To get into the building, anybody can walk into the ground floor. Main entrance, ground floor. Anybody can walk in there. Anywhere else, you might be tripping an alarm, at least coming in. And probably going out. So if you go in the main way and go out another door, you're going to trip something. Unless for some reason those alarms are disabled or are overridden by a different type of an alarm. Most area security is packing, so be prepared for gunfire if you're
All right.
so that's kind of, they'll give you the lowdown of some of the security things you're going to run across. That's in general. Did you get that roll from me?
Well, I need a roll from you. I need
Oh,
uh
oh, that crack files.
five
That's right.
5 DC. I need five D6s from you, please.
Why 5d6s?
I'm compiling a sprite.
Oh, I forgot you were compiling a sprite already. I got nada.
I got 6. So I have enough tasks. They are the and then it's a crack sprite, and I'm
Okay.
going to. Where's that? I actually have a cheat sheet for them. Okay. And then I'm going to ask them to lead in cracking this file. All right.
All right.
When we do this, just because it's a cracked sprite, it does have an innate ability called suppression. Anytime the sprite triggers an alert, the alert is delayed for rating divided by 2, rounded up. So in this case, 6. No, sorry, 3 combat turns.
All right.
All right. So first, I will roll to assist in this, and for that, it is. I'm just gonna print all these sheets out one of these days.
I have all of the sheets printed out.
Does it help?
Yes, it does. It
All right.
helps me.
Fair. All right. That was crack file hacking and logic. Okay, cool. So
All
first
right.
to assist.
That was pretty good.
Hey, Rhonda, while they're rolling dice, what's your initiative normally?
I got 4 successes on your attempt to crack file.
You're muted.
Okay.
You're muted, Rhonda.
4 successes. Bring this up.
My initiative is 10 plus a 2d6.
Okay.
Fool.
So if I get 6 hits, I can 6 hits on that roll, which should be pretty easy. I could end up getting you up to 16 plus 5d6
Ooh. Nice.
when I cast Improved Reflexes.
All right. So that means they're rolling 17 dice.
And plus
Who's
5d6
rolling?
is the most you can get on initiative rolls, just so you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can only have 5 dice.
I think when
Okay,
we
so you're
talked
rolling
about that the
17
other
dice.
day, that when we were on the phone with Alex,
Yeah.
I think that was.
Okay.
The crack sprite is rolling 17 dice to crack the file.
Oh, okay. Well, you roll that 17 dice. I only got 4 successes.
I got 7 successes.
All right. So you got 3 net. I don't know if net matters,
I
but you got the
not
most.
certain.
So you are able to crack the file. You get in there, you open it up, you pull out the blueprints. What do you do with them?
Do they look complete? Just from a quick like,
They do.
or are there redacted portions?
No.
Okay. Then I will. Computer and logic. I will attempt to make a copy.
All right. Oh, is there a... That's edit file, right?
Yes.
Oh, there it is. Ah, that is 2 successes.
I got 3 successes.
Ooh, just barely beat me. You made a copy.
Yep. Any more information on this building?
Nope, that was the file.
Then I will back out. I will dismiss my sprite and back out.
All right. You back out and you're out of there. You come back to Reggie's garage.
And I will
You,
let them know that I got a blueprint,
all right.
more
You have
detailed blueprint.
a more detailed blueprint, and it shows basically wiring and such. Reggie, roll me as you're looking at the stuff, because you're the drones guy, you're the wiring guy, you're the mechanic. I don't know what you would actually roll for this. Let's go with like intuition and logic, unless you have a an electronics type of mechanics.
Let me take a look.
I mean, you can do mechanics pool if you want to do.
Right. I have electronic warfare, but mechanics, nautical mechanics, industrial mechanics,
Let's
HVAC, stuff like that.
let's go industrial mechanics if you have that. We'll go with
Yeah.
that.
So that's 6 dice. Okay. Put the other one. Yeah, I forgot to take my dice out earlier.
It's all right. You don't roll dice a whole lot until you have to roll them a lot.
Yeah, out of 6 dice, I only got 4 successes.
only 4 successes. All right, with your knowledge of industrial mechanics, you are going to recognize the wiring where the notes on the blueprint that Gibson got, and all where the wiring is and everything like that. You are going to be able to tell where all the cameras are,
Right.
all of the lock pads, all of the other extra security measures that
Oh, yeah.
that are there.
I see it all.
Yeah. So it is in Owlbear. All of that
Right.
information is in Owlbear now.
Yeah. That
Oh, and I will.
entrance,
Sorry.
the entrances to the server room look pretty nasty.
And there is the legend of what all of these symbols mean.
Yeah.
In case you need to know.
I need a legend to
Probably
see
do.
that the gun means something's nasty.
Well, the gun does not shoot you, but the gun is,
No,
is a
it
detector.
just sees if we have a gun going in there.
Yep.
Or anything else metal.
Yep.
Okay, so it's a metal detector, basically. Mad. But everything can be overridden if properly approached.
We have to.
Right.
Reggie, do you see any connections going from that room to anywhere else? Any other terminals that are hardwired to it, or a line that goes outside of it? All I gotta do is touch it.
Yeah.
From what you can see on the blueprints, because you have like the whole building, you don't have just this room, you have the whole building. So
Right.
what you can see from the blueprints is all of the wiring is internal. There's nothing external. But everything seems to be wired down into the main floor security room.
Okay. So if we can control the main floor security room, we can control all the security. So
Yeah,
that might
getting in
be
that room is gonna be the difficult part.
Except for the servers are not wired to the security room, but all of the security features are wired to the security room. The servers seem to be fairly self-contained, except that they
Right.
are hardwired to all the offices and things like that.
Right.
Oh.
But once you get into the server control room,
No, just get me into one of those offices. If they're wired to the offices.
True. Unfortunately, well, the cameras within the where the elevators exits are, therein lies the issue. But there are possibilities.
I do this to myself every time. I gave you a way out. The second floor is full of offices.
Yeah. Right. Who says we have to go to the third floor?
I don't have the second floor set up here.
But even then, yeah,
Well,
the first floor has offices on it.
here's the thing: I don't need to be armed.
Right.
I mean, I'd prefer to be armed, and I don't have any of that cyberware, so they're not gonna have an issue with that. Phoenix, if your buddy can somehow get me into one of those offices, whether it's an appointment with somebody that doesn't show up, if it's got a curtain, I can.
Okay.
Yeah.
If I can
If there
touch that
are
wiring, I can get in.
Jody, if there
Okay.
are cables going from these server rooms to offices on the second floor, do we have the path of those wires?
Yeah, on the blueprints you do. They're embedded
Okay.
within the walls mostly.
Is there an office that I would say is nearest to where those wires go between the third floor and the first floor? Somewhere on the second floor.
Somewhere on the second floor, probably down. They're probably ran mostly along the corners of the offices or the
Right.
corners of the building, the four corners. It's
Okay.
like where
So like
most of the cabling is going is through those walls
so
right
the
there.
corners. So
All of
like
the
where those
offices
two
are wired.
cameras are pictured on
Yeah,
the two corners.
where yeah, this up here. Oh shoot, let me get my draw tool. Like up here. Oh, that's a lousy color for on blue. Maybe let me do yellow. Ugh, that was lousy. All right. Like wires going through
Okay.
this corner, this corner, and this corner,
Okay. I would say that since the server
top to bottom.
control room is on the southeast corner of the building, if we can go to the southeast corner of the second floor and find an office that touches that corner, then
But
we
I
can
don't.
actually, well, that would be the
Masterly
easiest way
what?
to, that would be the easiest way to actually uh, put a sensor onto the wires to read what's going across them. But I'm not sure you're still going to be able to control how the data flows from there. That, but that's you. That's not me.
Reggie, I don't need to be in the corner. I don't need to touch the wires in the wall. I just need to touch one of the terminals in any of those offices.
All right.
So
Like if
all
they're
we,
wired in,
so
I
all
can
we need is
Yeah.
access to the building.
one of those offices.
I will say this though, if we, for reaction's sake, being able to cause problems for them after on our way out, uh, that they have to recover from before they can even uh, come after us, there would be purpose in shutting them down from there, which would be easier.
If I'm
But
detected, if they
yeah,
don't detect me and I get through there clean, why tip them off? Let them think everything's hunky dory.
no problem. We can do that because subtle is better.
Now, don't get me wrong. I want contingency of Luna coming in there and
Right.
fucking shit up, but
Well, yeah, I will be still in the van, ready to go, just like normal. I already have a paint scheme for the signs that'll stick on the van. That's uh, Sparrow's mobile truck repair, which actually is in their neighborhood. That's why it makes sense to do something like that. I love
so Phoenix.
maps.
So Phoenix, you think your buddy can get us a quote unquote interview or
Eh,
appointment in one of those rooms like that, and that gives him low risk.
I can certainly find out. That can go on my list of things to ask.
And
Now,
I'll
if
get
they've
Chuck
got
makeup done.
if they got spirits wandering the halls, though, Phoenix, I'm screwed.
When it comes to getting in the building, I might have a guy.
Well, if we can get in there on a seemingly legitimate purpose, that's always helpful.
You might be able to bypass your friend altogether.
Wait a minute. I'm gonna have to look into something, but there could be a way to hide the fact that that you can do what you can do. I'll have to look into it, find out. I'll have to ask my friend who knows more about magic than I do. See what she says.
Well, if you can hide it, I'm more than happy to hear about it.
See what I can find out.
All right, I have 3 paths drawn up out in my mind out of there. So
But aren't
we
you
have
out
an
of there now?
exit route. We have an exit.
Good to know.
Okay.
I'm back.
Hey.
He does exist.
I mean, maybe.
They do exist.
I could be a figment of all of your imagination with a shared group hallucination.
Yes.
I have a
group
warped
hallucination.
imagination, so probably correct.
Joe's just our make-believe friend come to life.
Yay!
One person having a hallucination is feasible. That they may convince a second person to see the same thing, also feasible.
That they
Remember,
both convince a
To
group
have
that they see the same thing?
to
Likely.
have a large group of people hallucinate the same thing is a whole lot harder.
But not impossible.
Not impossible. Through the power of drugs and power of suggestion.
Mhm.
All right. So,
But not everybody reacts to drugs the same way.
what is the contact of the... That's very true. What is the
I would
contact...
not hallucinate.
You probably wouldn't. What is the contact for your contact? Like, what's the contact number for your contact that would get you into this building?
What's the contact number?
For your
Connection
contact.
number.
You mean connection?
Connection, yes.
I don't know.
Is it one of your contacts?
We'll make a guess.
If it's
Well,
one of your
it should be
contacts, you
on your
should
contact
you
list.
just go to your contact list and it's
I have my contacts list.
It's
Okay.
the first number of the contact that's going to help you get
I
into
know
this
what you're
building.
talking about.
Okay.
right under their name.
Unless it went back to 1-1.
Unless it went back to 1-1.
Yeah, because you had trouble saving them for a
Oh.
little bit.
I don't know if this is right or not, but I have a 3-4. I mean, I know
Okay.
what is right. I don't know. I'm just saying what you told me to say.
Well, you told me you had a guy, so I'm trusting you.
No. You said when I get back, let everyone know. Just say I have a guy.
Well, didn't you ask me about... Didn't you say you had a guy? Okay. All right. I was responding to a text that I thought I got from you. Although you do have contacts that could do this.
Although, if I use it's a 3-4 if I use
Okay.
what I think I
Okay.
should be using.
Okay. All right. that was a good roll too. Okay. They get back to you.
But it goes a lot higher than that as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I know it goes higher
And
than
if that one doesn't work out, I've got a 5.2 fixer.
Dang, you got a nice connected fixer.
Yeah.
They will respond to you. It could take probably 3 weeks to get the information needed to get you into the building easily.
Okay.
Or more easily. So that's what your contact gets back to you on. Any other planning that you want to do before the next night where you meet with Nathan?
I think Reggie's all set.
All right.
He will keep the drones in the van this time, though. He's not planning on flying any. They've become too obvious in this situation.
They might be, yeah.
You need some super micro drones that are like really, really,
I have
really tiny.
micro-
You know,
I have some micro drones, but I don't think I have a super micro drone.
something the size of a fly, or you know.
Just don't swallow.
Yeah.
No doubt. Gibson,
Yes.
astrally speaking, you're like a black hole. Correct?
I would
Mm,
assume so.
not really,
Well,
because
he does have his essence.
well, but he has an aura.
I have
So-
resonance, not essence.
Oh, that's true. You have. Well, everybody has
Well,
essence.
everybody has essence. Essence is
That's your
Yeah, right.
humanity.
you have
Sorry, yeah.
essence unless you've got cyberware or basically unless you,
Astrally speaking, Luna's almost a black hole.
Yes.
depending on what her essence is. Yes.
It's like 2 or 1.3 or
Ooh, she doesn't have much, which also means
Yeah.
she's harder to heal magically.
harder to heal.
But
My essence is 2.24.
Okay,
oof,
2.24.
yeah, it's pretty rough. But he does have an aura, but it takes rolling really good on a sensing roll
Okay.
to tell that he's a
Okay. So he will show up
Whatever.
astrally.
but everybody does. Like
Okay.
everybody has an aura. It's just
It's just his is slightly different.
his is,
Gotcha.
shows up like a magic user would in some ways,
Okay. I
but
just
different.
wanted to double check that to make sure. Okay.
But you don't realize that he's a technomancer unless you study him and roll well on an sensing test, which is where I'm trying to double check if there's a spell that I can hide his aura or modify his aura as opposed to just mine. I know I can do stuff with mine,
Stealth. Yeah.
but I got to double check if there's a way to do it with his.
All right. I was just checking that to make sure that it's not painfully obvious that you're a technomancer,
No.
but
If they sense me, like I come across as mundane. I'm trying to find the exact rules on it, because
I know that there's a astral sensing that they can tell the auras. I think that there's a table for it. So you can dig around on that. Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
The next night, you go to The Alabaster Maiden.
Yep.
I was like, shoot, what is that called? Because I read it.
I sent you the info
Yep.
on it. So
So you meet Nathan. Um, Nathan's there. He's already got a drink, and when you show up, he'll order you a drink. He'll say, Dom, it's good to see you again. Stand up, give you a handshake.
yeah. Hey. Yeah, it's been a little while. I know you got stuff going on. I try not to intrude too much, but
I mean, it's 9 to 5er.
yeah. Lucky you / unlucky you.
It pays the bills.
Yeah. Any promotions lately? Or still trying for it?
Well, still at the bottom right now, but
Yeah,
I foresee one in my future soon.
that's good. So, about this thing I got coming up.
Yeah.
What do you know about the server building over in Renton?
Um, that's where I mean, they house information there, but it's kind of a hub of um, mostly security information and um, open closed cases. Some HR stuff is over there. Um, Not a whole lot of labs. There's no labs there. They're mostly just offices and things like that. All the labs are in the White House, as now it's affectionately called.
So they don't keep any of their super high security secret stuff over there necessarily.
Not necessarily. I mean, if it needs to transfer to super high security, it'll transfer to the White House.
So, speaking of security, what's security like over there?
I mean, step down from the main. There's always guards on duty, of course.
Of
It's
course.
Aries. I mean, let's be real.
I mean, your employer would not go without guards, that's for sure.
Nope.
And highly effective, highly trained, highly
Yeah.
armed.
I would say, during the day, there's probably easily 4 just ready to go. In the evenings, based on it can be anywhere from 2 to 6 in the evenings, depending.
I would suggest about 3:30 in the afternoon. This is when your average office worker is thinking more about going home
Yeah.
than anything else. And he wouldn't even notice. He'd see a truck that says truck repair in their parking lot and would totally disregard it because someone couldn't get their truck started.
Yeah, maybe. What about spirits?
Oh yeah. Yeah, there's a spirit there. Um,
One or more?
well, at least one. There might be one on every floor, patrolling every floor. I mean, it's an office building. There's probably really just one in the service room, maybe one in the reception area, keeping an eye on things. I mean, all of the mages generally have a spirit on the loose in Aries buildings.
They got a mana barrier around it. That was a weird sound.
Somebody's having trouble getting their truck started, apparently.
What it sounded like.
Not me.
uh, Would they have a mana barrier? I don't think so. Not at this location. They don't have a mana barrier. They'll
Okay.
have mana barriers at the White House, of course, but I don't think at this location. This location is more technological than magical. I don't see as the spirits are just there for security purposes, not necessarily to take down a mage or prevent a mage from coming in. I don't think they really care.
Okay. Um, what would be the possibility about getting a friend of mine in there for, say, an interview or some other semi-legitimate reason to be there?
To
You
get
think
in there,
think it's something you'd be able to work up?
um, not sure. Give me a second. He'll pull out his comm and he'll fool around on his comm for a little bit. Basically, he's kind of like looking job websites, things like that. Um, well, there is an opening in Aries. Funny enough, for security. Um,
Hmm.
I mean, what? Depending on the friend, I might be able to make a call and say, "Hey, I know a guy. I need a name." I will attach my name to it though. Are you gonna be like? Is this gonna be like a real thing, or are you just gonna go in and like shoot things up? Like, cause if I say I know a guy and my guy goes in, and then it's gonna come back on me.
No, I'm trying to make it not come back on you. It's avoiding shooting if we can, because
That would be appreciated. Yep.
you know,
People shoot back.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
there's no reason to shoot unless we get in a tight bind. But although I do have a friend who likes to shoot things, but and if it comes down to it, she's more likely to do all the shooting and make the people run away from her shooting. Um, but to be honest, we're looking for data, specific data.
All right.
That we've been told
Well,
is on that server.
I tell you what. I can call. I can get an interview with somebody. Um, but it's won't be able to get you to the server room.
Doesn't
Any
need to get to the
information.
server room.
Okay. But I can at least get you an open invitation.
Okay. And just out of
Open
curiosity,
invitation, but an invitation for your guy.
any other data that might be interesting to look at while we're in there, or that you're interested in, or we might be interested in?
I mean, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. But I don't know for you, but
If you think of anything.
oh, did you hear
About
Jeremiah
I heard about that yesterday.
killed in a street fight? Seems a
Yeah.
little odd. I thought most
Well,
days were behind him.
I didn't run into him, but I saw him on a video recently.
Interesting.
Some not so nice guys were kind of marching him off somewhere. Didn't see where. He just happened to cross this video.
Well, maybe he got himself into trouble.
Yeah, I have a feeling he did.
Yeah, I don't.
I mean, I know he was working for Shiwase, but it sounded like he got himself in trouble with One of the groups in town.
The what's now that you mention it, him getting into trouble and whatnot. I wonder if there's some kind of coincidence. The other guy that died, um, Donaldson.
In that fight?
Yeah, in that fight, worked for Ares.
Really?
Worth looking into.
So, Donaldson. Okay. Where did he work at?
He worked for the production line for the prototypes, basically, in the White House. They've really locked down the White House lately because
Interesting.
he had access to quite a few of the labs in the White House. So
So they're trying to make sure they don't use anything he had on him to get back in there.
yep.
Yeah, I get that. But he didn't have any link to this other site though, right?
Oh, other than he might have had some HR information on him.
Yeah.
You know, his pay rate.
Who cares
Whatever.
about that? Honestly, I'm probably getting paid better than you are these days, so most
Perhaps.
people in my position are actually paid a lot better than it seems.
Well, you give me that name, and I'll get an interview. Don't let it come back on me.
Oh, I won't.
Otherwise, I'll be coming back to you to get me the heck out of here.
I will hopefully be able to avoid that. That's the goal. I like you right where you're at. Not just because, you know, you're it's not just your usefulness, it's also because, I want you to have a good life and have an easier life, and staying in the corporate world sometimes a little bit easier.
Far, so good.
Although I probably have more fun.
That's fair.
And I don't have anybody looking over my shoulder saying don't do that.
Eh,
At least not directly.
I don't really have anybody looking over my shoulder saying don't do that yet.
Yeah. And I'll sit there and just chat with him. Otherwise,
All right.
catch up.
Okay.
You know.
When you leave it, he'll basically tell you, well, as soon as you know who I'm promoting, you let me know.
Yeah,
Remember,
I
this
will.
is for a security job.
All right. I will let you know what we decide. If we got some other
At
options we're
least
going to
in
look
the
at, but
security department, at least.
right. And we got other options we're going to look at, but
Sounds good.
I
I'll
will
wait for
let
your
you know.
call.
All right, man.
All right.
And I'll head back out of there, and I'm assuming everybody's probably, well, I don't know if everybody's at Reggie's or if they're all home at this point, but
It was evening, what, 7 o'clock you said?
no, 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock, okay. So
I'm
you
at
can be waiting.
Reggie's.
It's a nightclub.
Oh, that's right. The Reggie's at Reggie's. And Gibson, Luna, anything you want to do, or are you just waiting for the gathering of information to solidify a plan?
Go ahead, Luna.
Luna? Nope, nothing. All right.
Then Gibson will be doing some public sector footprinting on Sergeant Frederick.
Frederick. All right. Um, you go ahead and roll me a matrix search. I know
There
you're
are
looking for
things that
public
Reggie is
information.
doing, but like working on his drone and also working on getting a jammer through his vendor.
That is, give me the connections for your vendor. What's the connection number? It's the first of the two numbers.
I only have 2 people on my list. My doctor and my or the street doc and the vendor. So
All right. Well,
yeah, so he's number 2. Yeah.
okay, he's the second person, and they're still at 1-1, right? Or did you pump points into them? Because you might have forgot to pump points into them.
No, I didn't know how to do that. So
Okay. All right. I'm gonna give your vendor a good connection.
yeah. Well, he's got all this stuff. I consider the toys I have.
Yeah, basically at character generation, you can put a total of
Alright.
7 into that.
Yeah, I would have put
like connection plus loyalty.
yeah.
Alright.
I'd have put 2 in the dock and 5 in the vendor because the
Well, no,
vendor's more
7 on
important.
each. You could put
Oh,
up to
7
7
on
on each.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
No, 7 total during character
Yeah.
creation, not 7 on each, but 7 total
Well,
for the
Well,
Yeah.
no,
contact.
7 for each contact
Okay.
total. But
Oh,
you add connection and loyalty to make 7.
To make that 7.
Both have to be
Yeah.
a minimum of 1.
Can be 4-3,
Right.
3-4, 1-6.
Could be
it'd be
1-6.
3.
Yeah.
It with the vendor, it's going to be 2-5.
Is more loyal or more connected?
More loyal.
Okay.
The kind of things he's selling me. Yeah. More loyal.
More loyal.
Well, just remember, connection means he has
Connection
more
means he has
access to
access.
things.
Yeah.
The lower the
okay.
connection, the less access he has.
Which he
All
can
right.
be.
Then go fourth.
I was thinking 4-3.
4-3
Yeah,
is
4-3. Yeah.
a lot
Yeah.
better
Definitely.
for that.
Okay, yeah.
So, all right. He is going to be able to get you that jammer at,
Okay.
and he will give it to you
It's
at
level
cost.
6, by the way.
I don't know what the cost is. I'd have to dig for that.
It's 12,000.
Okay.
Or 1,200. Excuse me. It's 1,200.
1,200. Okay.
This is for the van.
Okay. So he'll be able to get that
7
to you.
success.
7 successes?
Yep.
Holy shnikes. You know his blood type is AB positive.
Yes, a little bit of hematosis in his eyes.
All right. Frederick, you learn about Frederick. He went to Washington University. He's Seattle born and raised. He is you find all of these articles about him, cracking cases. He, has always been kind of an outstanding detective. And you kind of see all these articles of him getting promoted throughout Ares, and taken in with Devin Coffer, who is the head of security, and how he is now basically his second in command. And you read kind of all of this information. He's got a wife. He's got 2 kids. They live in Bellevue. They attend all of the functions. Like, you see pictures of him with Ares CEOs and whatnot, and you recognize Devin Coffer in all of this as well. A lot of the pictures have Devin Coffer with him. You do pick up on that in the public. Even like some of the pictures of his family, Devin Coffer is also with him. So these two are very close, or Devin Coffer really watches him.
Their kids. Are there any photos of them with their kids at like recitals or taekwondo tournaments or things like that?
Yeah,
Events that they attend with their kids.
You're gonna see a couple of things. You're gonna see a lot of like dance related things with their daughter. You're gonna see with their son. You're gonna see a lot of sporting things. Like, they do a lot of I don't know, I'm just gonna go with soccer. They do soccer.
Or the Shadowrun equivalent.
Shadowrun equivalent. It's probably now called football.
Yes.
It's no longer soccer. It's football.
With that, I'm going
Football,
to try
you
to see
bet.
if there's any team
Right.
names or anything like that that I can identify, and see if they have any schedules on their websites for upcoming tournaments, upcoming events that may warrant their parents attending and getting the hell out of their house.
Look at that. You start digging around. You find a team name. I'm just gonna call them the Hellcats for the soccer. And it is a high school team. It's a kind of a select private, but it's high school age. That's
Mhm.
their kids are older. The daughter seems to dance with I don't know, Jolene's studio.
Jolie. Oh,
Yep, Jolene. And it seems like that according to their schedules, it's late July. They're not doing anything right now. Um, it looks like the dance studio is probably gearing up to start the next year, probably in August. So there's probably no recitals or anything right now for that until August. Um, Probably even later because that's the start of the year for them. Um, and she is in middle school. Um, he is probably sophomore year. Hellcats look like they have a tournament coming up next weekend, and I would need my calendar up for that. I don't have my
yeah.
calendar up.
You can get that to us later.
Yeah, it's the next weekend. It's around the 13th, 14th, or something like that. I don't remember. Maybe
Looking at the
15th.
photos from previous tournaments and such that they were at, was the daughter with them?
Um, Sometimes yes, sometimes no.
Okay. Both parents?
Usually.
And Gibson's like compiling all this information, like he's done in the past. He's compiling all the information and presenting, prepping a PowerPoint presentation for everyone.
You are all are going to get a PowerPoint presentation on Frederick, whatever, Schumann.
Schumann.
Um, okay, so I'm curious. Is it going to be more like leverage, where it's like all up and doing all these weird
Oh yeah.
things, or is it more like NCIS where it's click, click, click,
No,
click,
it's more
and
like leverage. It's like
I love that show.
leverage. Did you ever see the movie Minority Report?
Oh
I
yeah.
did. It's been a long time.
Like where he's moving all the images and everything, and
It'd be like that.
yeah, it'd be
Yeah.
like that.
We'd all have to be in our have our VR going so we can see it,
And if
or
you know what,
AR.
if you
AR.
guys if you guys have to, I do have a hollow projector.
Uh, you know. Uh,
Yep.
by the way, when I leave, like before I even get on my bike, I would have sent a message to you. Uh, look up somebody named Donaldson who worked for Ares in security.
I'll add that to my list of folks too.
He died in that fight with
He did
Jeremiah.
not
I,
did not work for security.
They're not in security. I thought you said
production.
security
No, he worked in the
or
labs. He
production
was
in the labs. That's
productions.
right. Sorry.
He did a lot of the prototype
Huh.
stuff.
Yeah, I saw his name in the paper. I didn't know who he was. Yeah, guess we can put a employer to a name now. All right, I'll look into them. Um, so what'd your buddy say? Can you get us in?
Potentially. Probably.
Oh,
I don't know what that sound is.
It's got to be a bird.
It sounded like metal, like spinning.
yeah, I did.
Yeah, maybe.
Not from
Uh,
here. I don't hear what you guys are talking about.
I don't
You don't
either.
even hear it.
Well, then it could be from one of you. And
yeah, I hear it.
I hear it too.
All right, I'll look
That's
into this
funny.
guy. You know what? If this goes sideways, tell your buddy I got a couch you can crash on.
yeah, I can handle him there, but the goal is to have it not go sideways if possible.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, meta, real quick. I did look it up to see if somebody is a technomancer. They'll not be able to see if they're affecting anything or what they're doing or anything like that. Um, but it requires 5+ hits on an
That's right.
sensing.
Yeah,
Like
it's
I
a
knew it was
it's a
high.
pretty high sensing test.
It's the highest on the
Yeah.
table.
Mhm.
I like for me to do it, like my sensing, I'm only rolling 7 dice on a sensing. So it's hard for me to do it, but if somebody's got a high level or a spirit might be able to do it easier. Like my spirit that I've got bound right now rolls 13 dice on that, so more likely that a spirit will be able to see that you're a technomancer.
Yeah, but just at a quick glance, looks mundane. So
Yeah.
likelihood of somebody be like, oh, let me take a real close look at him. A little bit less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
You'd
don't know
have
if
to
it can
do
be
something
done.
suspicious.
You don't show up like a mage. You show up like a normal person, and then
And then
You're
how I
just
show up if they
human.
detect that I'm a technomancer is flavor up to the DM.
yeah.
All right. All right. Sounds good. And you're going to look up Donaldson. And I
We
will.
have a plan.
You have a plan. Donaldson has just kind of moved up in the ranks. His wife died probably about 7-8 years ago. They have a daughter. Her name is Chloe. Um, don't know much about the daughter. Daughter doesn't seem to be really in the public eye. Um, and yeah, he worked for Ares. He was a good employer or a good employee. Um, you see where he got some promotions, things like that. But he worked his way up. He was kind of a grunt, and then worked his way up. He wasn't in the prototypes lab to start with. He like did lateral moves and things like that to get into that. Um, but daughter's maybe early middle school, 6th, 7th grade. I love it.
Still hearing whatever that
I
is.
know. I think it's a bird personally. Oh, it's you? It is you?
Is it kind of like a?
No,
Oh,
no, no.
no. It's
Okay.
high.
It's high pitched, which is why you probably don't hear
Which is
it.
probably why you
Yeah,
don't
it's
hear
out
it.
of my
Yeah.
frequency range. I have to put my hearing aids on to hear that.
Hear that stuff.
Think of like a wheel squeaking or a
Alex
wheel like making a high pitched noise on a car.
Yeah. No, I don't even hear Alex. So,
Like when
all
the
right.
brakes of a car are making high pitched
Yeah.
noise, but higher pitched than that.
Yeah. So,
That's not here.
all right.
Okay.
That is where we're going to pause because you have a lot of information.
It's senior.
It is senior.
What did I do?
I'm watching the
The little green
The
guy.
audio meter.
yeah, the audio meter, yes, the audio mixer, and I see senior's bar go.
I don't know what it is then.
It's hard to say.
It's hard
I
to
don't know.
say. I honestly think it kind of sounds like a bird to me because I've heard birds do that.
Yeah, true.
Possibly, yeah.
So, because it's not consistent.
Oh, we got a lot of birds around here, so
Yeah. So yeah, that's where we're gonna pause. You guys have got a pseudo plan. We'll finalize that next week and kick it off and see if you cause a ruckus in the middle of the day.
Or early evening, depending.
All right, and so that's where we're gonna pause. Those of you who are watching, thanks for sticking with us. We appreciate it. Be sure to like, subscribe, turn on the notifications so you know when we're live next week. And yeah, check out our website, dndadjokes.com. That's where you're going to find some information about our characters. That's where you're going to find the hot sheets. When, when they say, oh, did you read in the newspaper or did you read an article or whatever, that they're referring to the hot sheets, which you will have access to on our website. So check it out. Also, you can check out the upcoming events where we have the events that we're going to be appearing at, as well as their website links, so that you can go check out their websites to get all the information about the events. So I think that's really it. We gotta come up with something. We're at 95 subscribers, just FYI. So we gotta come up with something if we should hit 100 subscribers. What are we gonna do if we hit 100 subscribers?
That is a good question.
I don't know. I'll have to think of something.
Yeah.
Everybody has to wear a wig.
No.
To wear what?
That would require me to buy one.
Yeah, I'd have to go buy a wig.
Rhonda has wigs. She can wear a wig.
I
I
have
don't
more
even
than
wear
one.
hats.
Well, hey, if anybody has any suggestions on what our 100 subscriber event, punishment, celebration should be, put it in
Not
the
punishment,
comments.
please. I don't want no punishment.
I guess it depends on the severity of the punishment.
I like how you
Why should
refer
we
to
be
it as
punished for getting
punishment.
subscribers? It should be celebrated.
Well, they're celebrated by getting to see us make fools of ourselves.
And you are
Wait, we don't already do that every time?
Let us know what you think.
Yes.
All right. So I think with that we're gonna call it good. Yeah, leave a comment. Let us know what you think. And yeah.
All right.
All
Well,
right.
see everyone next week.
We'll see you next week.